It's your boy DOXForever. This is the members only podcast. And right now you're rocking with the best. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. This is my homies. I mean, somebody I'm gonna try to figure out or get to meet as well and see what we're about. We're gonna have some cool conversation, have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean?
Also got Sean T on the mic.
Got KJ Oni.
Yeah, man. And I just wanted to bring them in today. You know what I mean? Just talk about a couple things in terms of like, because we entrepreneurs, we trying to do things big out here. You know what I mean? Trying to create our own paths. You know what I mean? Be legendary bosses, leaders, all in one. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure out a way for us to create a source of income without having to work for a company, but be the company. And I think it's good for us to speak from that point of view. You know what I mean? So people could see and understand exactly, what we go through as entrepreneurs, like on the good side and the bad side. But we'll talk about it. So how'd you get into this? Into like trying to not trying to be your own boss, but you are your own boss. How'd you get into doing this?
So I got into doing this by working for, corporate America for probably like about 8 years and just not liking, listening to other people, not liking to follow direction, just wanting to create my own path. So I decided to take the leap after COVID hit. I got laid off and I was just like, I got to take my own opportunities into my own hands, because like working for these companies, they could lay you off at any minute, and you put all this time, all these hours into it and they could just lay you off. So I was like, I want to create my own. So I decided to open up the studio space, photography, videography studio, podcasts and events. And I could have that studio, rent it out, and also create my own things in my studio as well. So
Fine. Yeah, I definitely agree with you and can relate. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty much on the same type of wavelength. You know what I mean? I had a regular job, and I don't know. Like, you ain't got to introduce yourself. You over there on the cell phone. You over there playing Angry Birds.
But no, myself it's kind of interesting because I already knew what I wanted.
What's your name though?
Oh, I'm Oni. But yeah, but far as myself, I kind of already knew what I wanted to do. And actually, I originally started off doing the creative work because I used to act. I was in theater arts and all that. Then the older I got, the more I got interested in the creative side, the production side, more or less. So after a while, I didn't go overseas to school because that's where I was supposed to go. I stayed locally and wound up getting an internship starting with MTV and then wound up turning into the job, and that got my foot in the door. So after
so you used to work for you still work for MTV?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
I wish, but not anymore.
Yeah.
But through there, in my first 2 years of college, I met my friends and my brothers. We just created this artistic collective. I'm more the media production and advertising. My other brother doing events and stuff like that, and my the main artist, he's doing art and fashion. So
dope. That's fine.
Yeah, we've been at it since going on 10 years next year. So
yeah, she's 10 years deep, man. That's crazy, man. So just to talk about how long I've been doing this. When I started, I still had my regular job, so I was trying to balance the two out.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't like it. I felt like I was giving too much of myself. I started realizing giving too much of myself to this corporation, and I value myself and my time a lot more than they do. You know what I'm saying? I was going there, get this check, okay, but they didn't value me as much as I value myself.
Exactly. No respect.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, you're just this guy, you do that, that's your job. But in my head, I'm like, nah. And is that an ego thing? You think because you was just saying you ain't want to listen to nobody. You think that's kind of more like man, fuck everybody. I'm that shit.
It depends on the type of person you are. I feel like in this world, there are the people who create. I feel like Erykah Badu said this. The people who create, there's the people who follow, and there's the artistic people. So like, I think it's very hard for creative people to follow other people's directions. You want to create your own world, create your own path. So I don't think it's ego, honestly. Honestly, I feel like the work setup and structure isn't that like realistic. Honestly, I feel like it's false. So I don't think it's ego at all.
No, I think that work. No disrespect to anybody that got a job. Jobs are great. Keep working, take care of your family. But for me, I don't think jobs or the shit. I just think they're terrible. You know what I mean? Like, cause you get this set base salary that you're supposed to live off for the rest of your life, and you're competing with everybody for certain positions, and it's like a high school kind of scenario, popularity contest. I got to get cool with this person. It's like politics in the profession. I'm not. See, but you got to also associate that with who you were in high school or in school. If you were always that guy that said you was kind of rebellious, you did your own thing, made your own way.
Exactly.
You're not trying to go in that type of what do you call it? What's the word for business? Bureaucracy, and fill a void that they need you to fill in order for the company to win. I kind of wanted to just do my own thing and make my own way and make my own money, and I think that's the characteristics of a leader. Or a boss. Somebody that just, you veer from the regular. You stray away from
Pay their own way.
And pay their own way,
But there's nothing wrong with working.
No. Because some people
entrepreneurs need people to work for them. So,
but that's the thing.
Yes.
I feel like it needs to be a balance. Like, you have to know your humble beginnings as far as like 9 to 5 and to even create a work ethic. You don't have to have a job to have a work ethic, but like, even if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now on the independent scale, I would still do it as a 9 to 5. But the thing about the workforce is, like, for me, I believe like anything less is civilized. Like, I through and throughout life. Like, so if I want a job or if I'm gonna do something I like as a job, it gotta be to my stances. And even though most people start off entry level and base salary or like minimum wage, like, if I know this is what I want to do, I'm gonna accompany my image or my resume to what I'm doing. So there's nothing wrong to it, and there's nothing wrong with having a standard with it, because I still want to be like, have an editing job or like this creative director job, but I want 120 base. Like, you'll be like, but I need to show that this is what I'm worth.
Definitely.
And I ain't even gonna front. Working for corporate America for all those years has taught me a lot of skills, and I'm definitely utilizing that as an entrepreneur. I think I avoided a lot of mistakes because I knew business and I knew how to conduct. I knew where to go. I knew what to do. And I know, like, I have a twin brother, and my twin brother did the opposite. Like, he started business without really knowing anything. He was learning as he went. So he made a lot of mistakes. And ultimately, his business didn't last. But, it depends on what type of route you're trying to take. You want to learn as you go and make those mistakes and learn from them, or, you learn from the others and then go and tackle it. So...
Definitely. That's definitely a smart way to look at it. And too, like me, like, if I didn't work and have a job, I wouldn't have the money to invest.
Exactly.
So, I just think there's some people who work who just love to work for others, and that's okay. But there's some people who don't like that shit.
Exactly.
And that's okay. You just got to know who you are in terms of that, and from that aspect. Am I somebody that likes to walk my own path and create my own lane, or am I somebody that's okay with waking up and going to work for a corporation that I believe in? Because I'm a corporation that I want you to work for.
Exactly.
So definitely,
we're becoming the people we're like trying to get away from. But like, what really did it for me though is like looking at my superiors and like looking at their life, and like I'm looking at the CEO of my company. You're stressed out as fuck. Can I curse?
Of course. What are you talking about?
Is this radio?
This is radio. Yeah, of course. Curse your heart out, man.
Just like looking up to the superiors. Like, you come to work every day, you stressed out.
and I'm supposed to be looking up to you as where I'm supposed to be working towards getting. And I'm like, why am I working towards getting to where you are? Like, I don't want to wake up stressed. I want to wake up and just be happy, you know? Like, that's what I want to work towards. Like, so that's what really did it for me.
And if you are waking up stressed, at least it's stress for your shit.
Exactly. That part right there.
Yeah, like
I just don't want to wake up to male pattern baldness because of my job. That's it.
Yeah.
That's like, as long as it's not making me bald, I'm cool with that shit.
I'm starting to go a little bit. But
That's wisdom.
As wisdom, I got to get one of those male wigs. You know what I mean? Now that's old age though. But anyway, so other than that, right? Like, so there's different sides to being an entrepreneur. We know this, right? So what are some of the difficulties you feel like you ran into when you started your business? Like, is there anything that stood out to you that was like, damn, this shit is really hard?
I think for me, it was changing from the worker-employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. That was extremely difficult because, like, having that guaranteed paycheck and then also having, you know, just a path of growth that you already know, you know? It's that anxiety of like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? And like for me, that was the biggest challenge. And it's just kind of like I just had to listen to a whole bunch of podcasts like we're doing right now to give me that motivation, that push. So that like honestly, that was the biggest struggle for me, changing my mindset. And I'm actually still doing it. I'm not 100% there.
I'm definitely still doing it. I feel like I'm
Talk to me.
I felt like I had a meld not only the corporate mindset but like hard knocks mindset in it too. Cause like I'm not gonna lie, even in the beginning of our business when we started, like we had events that went really well, really great. Cause you know we're young, we're vibrant, we're loopy. And then like we worked with someone and oh they ran off with the money, or we worked with someone or like the deal could be much better than what we're offering. Like we had to go through trial and error, but at the same time, like those are the particular moments where like you can't learn from other people's mistakes. Sometimes it just happens. You just not have to learn how to respond to it. Like that's where you like
you gotta learn like from your own experience and time, like with those situations, right?
Or even in the sense of like each one teach one and raising someone up. Like I can help people and then put them in positions, but at the same time, it was points in times we wasn't getting the same love. Like like
Yeah, I can agree. I think that was like the hardest thing for me as well in terms of like the mindset.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because like you said, you go from this comfort of getting this check every 2 weeks that you know you planning, making plans and shit to okay, I hope I get this deal with this person. You know what I mean? I hope they like I hope they keep coming back and it turns into like faith almost.
Yeah.
But the faith works.
It does.
Which is crazy. Like that's what I started to fall back on. And I think becoming an entrepreneur got made me become closer to like myself, or just relying on like my inner
warrior.
Yeah, my inner warrior. It's kind of like you kill what you eat. Right?
You have to trust in yourself. You have to have believe in yourself.
And you got to know that once you in that realm, the money is always going to come to you.
Yeah. What's that saying? If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, it's always going to come. And for all entrepreneurs, I think that is the biggest fear. Just like, because when I first started, I was just gung-ho. I was just excited. Film, photography. Oh, yeah. And then, you gotta get to the point where it's like, okay, are they gonna book? I hope they book. Hope they book again. Oh, they keep coming back. Oh, now they book 5 weeks in a row. This is great. Oh, they didn't book for 2 weeks now. Like, you know what I mean? So you start to doubt yourself. Well, I started doubting myself at some period in time in terms of like, okay, did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
But then that's when you fall back. Well, that's when I fell back on faith, and You can't let that take you out of your comfort zone with your business. You just gotta. The key is to me is like downtime is great because you use that time to better yourself and get wisdom
Exactly.
and teach yourself certain things. Like
Yeah.
you can't look at the time when things aren't happening as fast as you want as time that's like negative.
Exactly.
You have to use that time as
That's it.
okay, this is time for me to grow.
Exactly.
And when the next person comes that you're supposed to work with, they're gonna value you even more because you can build yourself up. Now they're gonna book even more.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a mind fuck. I mean, you gotta like really be yoga out. I mean, not yoga, but what's the guy from Star Wars and shit?
Yoda.
You really gotta be Yoda out this bitch. You feel what I'm saying? So that was I can agree with you.
Yeah.
In terms of that being the hardest thing, man, 100%.
Because even with that, it's just like you got to learn how to take constructive criticism within your own business. Like especially like I used to have one of my exes toxic, but like when it came to like telling me about myself and like certain business moves I was doing, like that toxicity worked because it's like oh I'm not gonna lie, like one time for the toxic girls, like y'all got but like but it's just more like that honesty and like that outside looking in perception. You need that too, because sometimes you're so gung-ho in your program. I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Like you're so gung-ho, you're trying to like run around with your head cut off. You're not getting a dose of reality till it's so late. So like sometimes having that intervention or like that that intervening that person that's telling you about yourself, like you need that. Like
I agree. So you're saying like this having somebody looking from the outside looking in, because I mean, look, we are all the first of many. You got to realize that, like, young black entrepreneurs is a brand new thing.
It is.
You know what I mean, so
it's very new.
We are very important, and we got to understand that we're gonna go through the roughest times, but those times are times that others are gonna come to us for advice on.
Yes.
So you got to realize that, like, you know what I mean, like these things that we are learning and going through, they're molding us into something special. You feel me? So I look at it from that point of view, and really just try to like when younger people come to me now and say ask me questions, it's like damn, they don't even know this shit is hard as fuck, but you just got to give them whatever you learn from it, you got to give it to them straight. You know what I mean?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Sometimes do as I do. Sometimes, right, man? Because taking a leap of faith is the first step.
It is.
So another question: how is it for both of you guys, working with others, in terms of partnerships, in terms of just working relationships, in terms of hired contractors? How is that? Because once you are in a role of working for a company, you don't really have to deal with that. It's pretty much just like, okay, a robot almost. You come to work and you know what you got to do. But now when you come into a position of you are the owner, the CEO, or you're on a team with somebody and you guys have to orchestrate the process in order to create a quality product. How is that?
I feel like it's so challenging because you literally, since this is your business.
I'm gonna check that camera real quick. Keep talking.
Since this is your business, you have to honestly kind of try to get these contractors or workers to kind of match how your vision and what you see for the company. And that doesn't always translate. So I know for me, like I originally was going to have a partner for my studio, but I gave her a trial basis, and it was like one day, and then one day she was like talking to my clients and telling my clients that this is her studio, and then she's going back and forth with me on tasks. It's like, oh, I don't think you should do that like that. Or I don't think this is the best idea. I'm like, this is not your business. I am contracting you.
I don't need back and forth. This is what I think is best, so you do it. You know, I mean, I'm open, but like, if you're giving me this much back and forth, so like, it's challenging. It's definitely challenging. You definitely have to consider the personality of a person and also your values as a businessman. Like, what type of businessman do you want to be? You know, so like, it's still something I'm struggling with. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, to me, that's a very hard place for me to be. It's like you have to learn. Well, I'm learning. You have to learn to set boundaries
Exactly. Yeah.
with people. And since we haven't been in this position before, we are just cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, some people are made like this to just give their bosses, right? They just want you just They get put in a position in corporate America and they like roll, right? So they know, everybody knows they have to do this and do that and listen to this person for that, because the owner is the person nobody sees that gets all the information and decides to fire you, right? But since we're the owner and the entrepreneur and also the workers that's with you every day,
Exactly.
some people might step out of place.
That's money. You gotta learn how to put them back in.
Not even put them back in. I think when they first meet you, it has to be, the boundaries have to be there
already.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like, okay, I have to put you in your place. It should be like, okay, this doesn't happen.
Yeah, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Like, it's gonna continue.
So that's another thing that I struggle with. And how about you? Like, what is something that?
I mean, I feel like throughout the years is more or less like either like going full on with investments or partnerships, or like getting the credit that's due. Because like I remember one particular company we partnered up with, like we built them from like ground up, like, and they're kind of doing good right now. But like as far as like the just desserts or like compensation, like is not getting it. Like it's more or less working with someone that's gonna help uplift you at the end of the day. Because sometimes you're gonna work with brands and you're gonna just get paid and keep it going. That's cool. Yeah. But if you're building stuff from the ground up, you're initiating like partnerships, like don't take an advantage. Like that's my thing. Like I definitely don't like.
Yeah, 100%.
So what's the solution here? Like what's the key takeaway?
Quality over quantity. Because it's just more or less like I want to tailor my thoughts and my beliefs and my business standards and practices to these brands or these people that's gonna reciprocate the same energy. Like sometimes like I'm not gonna lie, I'm the one out the group that I feel like, I can be the spook by the door and like really like being in ins and outs of the industry. But it's when it's time to like let my people in, I'm gonna let my people in and just like go. But some people just don't know how to utilize that boundary. So in some people or some ventures is you have to turn their way because it'll be like detrimental to your beliefs in yourself. So if it goes anything against you, anything less is civilized. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah. I think I mean, the takeaway for me is like I said again, just the boundaries and learning yourself and learning what you value, and not allowing others to come into the business and alter those values. Or try to alter your business in any way based on what they value.
You have to set that. You gotta know what your values are beforehand.
But I think less communication is key.
Less communication is key? What?
I think less communication.
That's the first time hearing that.
I feel like the more you talk with people and especially people that come into business to work for you, the more you communicate personally with them and get cool with them, get to know them.
That's what you mean. Okay, got it.
I feel like they feel like the boundaries can't get crossed once they feel things are a little smooth, right? So I feel like it's good to talk and we all naturally, since we're entrepreneurs and go-getters, we just like naturally want to,
Yeah.
pull people in. It's good to really like shut down sometimes, which is tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a but you got to understand
There's
this.
a fine line, right?
There's places that we haven't been yet in terms of us as business owners, and that we have to learn to be comfortable with. I have to learn to be comfortable with being quiet.
Mm.
I have to learn to be comfortable with just not saying too much.
Sometimes you gotta think it before you say it, or sometimes
Yeah.
you know, like
Sometimes, like when you do say too much, people start to feel too comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm trying to learn how to do.
What about when it comes to like clients? Like I come from the business corporate world and client services. Like you're taught, to get on your knees for clients, do whatever they say. Like they're the ones with the
always
money.
right.
So kiss their asses, basically. So like, what is your approach to dealing with clients?
I value my quality, right?
Okay.
You know what you came here for.
Uh-huh.
Everything isn't a yes, yes. Sometimes things are yes, no. And thank you for visiting. You might want to check somebody else out. I don't think this is going to work.
I look
Okay.
at
So
I got you. I like that.
it's kind of like I was reading this book, which gave me so in the times when starting a business and not like you said you listen to podcasts and things. I did a lot of audio books and just to get some encouragement from other places and people who've been in businesses.
Yeah.
I do want to speak about mentors too, but other than that, right? So everything you can't. There's a yes no. There's a no no. There's a no yes, and there's a yes yes. So if it isn't a yes yes, I'm gonna explain this further. If it isn't a yes yes, then it is no deal. But some people are so used to getting the client who is the yes, I'm getting what I want, and the person that's giving the service gets the no. You're not getting what you want, but you're making the client happy.
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, you're not happy.
Gotcha.
And you're getting a short.
It's got to be a win-win.
It has to be a yes. It has to be a win-win.
Yeah.
It cannot be a win-lose.
Got you.
And it might just have to be a lose-lose. Like when I say lose-lose, there's no deal.
Yeah.
And being able to walk away from that, which you're like, okay, I'm cool, but I'm still good because we didn't move forward. And I knew I would. If I did move forward, I wouldn't have been happy with it because I would have gave you way too much.
See, that's the thing, and I was going to bring this up. It's like when you're coming from corporate and business culture, you actually learn some negative things, like some negative behaviors and some negative values. Like I feel like I became a workaholic, and I feel like I value that, but now I'm just like I get exhausted, I get burnt out, or I'm a people pleaser. Where I always say yes. And like I learned that from corporate America because, being black in an all white situation, you always got to be the yes man. You always got to go above and beyond. So I carried that over into my entrepreneurship. And honestly, it burnt me out. Honestly, it doesn't work. So I'm trying to find a balance right now, like rewire all that negative, thinking that I got from business culture. So
I've been burnt out. I was just trying so that's why I was like, okay, sometimes I got to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like I learned that when I was in the FAO. Like I used to work for FAO Shorts for a little bit. Like, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, there's black people here, but like in the position I was at, like, I was still like doing sales and stuff like that, like advertising with the products. But it's more like at the same time I had it as much I wanted to be like, yeah, fuck off, or like, man, like I don't like what's going on. I had to kiss ass because it's like in those corporate settings, it's like you don't want to. It's a symbiotic relationship where we're the symbiotes. Like they were the ones drain their pockets for this 40-hour paycheck. But at the same time, it's just like I don't want to corrupt my own values trying to cave into this paycheck. It feels like, but I did learn how to like negotiate or like subtly like like a subtle suggestion in a sense, like because over there you used to deal with people like their families, like Wall Street dads buying toys for the kids, or like tourists coming in from foreign places with cash to spend, but like it's more or less honest suggestions of what you want to do with this or do with that, like it's just
100%. I think you shouldn't. Negotiation is key. And sometimes, like with me, I got somebody I work with that handles negotiations because I'm not the best.
Yeah.
I might get a little too emotional or a little
Yeah.
bit too involved and might say
Yeah.
some shit off the whim, like, "Oh shit, fuck you." You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
crazy shit. So it's good to have some training in how to negotiate. And if you know somebody that's a good friend that is good at negotiating, like maybe you might want to pull him in on a call.
Yeah.
Like, can you jump in on this call with me and help me figure this out? Because I've got some great deals that I was about to cave into because I wasn't asking for enough. But my friend, who was great at negotiation, like I just shut up and it's like, oh shit, they about to pay that. Like, you know what I mean? And I was about to get the low bag.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because of my whatever. It could have been confidence in a willingness to please.
That's very true. Yeah.
Or just not standing my ground in what I'm offering. You know what I mean? So you take the L because you're offering less of yourself when you're worth more. And that goes back to the main reason why I left the job. It's like I'm worth more.
Exactly.
So really living that. It's not easy because you're not working for this company, you're working for yourself. So you're just chasing that green dollar. But it's bigger than the green dollar. It's more so like you bring the dollar.
Yeah.
So you can't chase it. You bring the dollar. You gotta. Well, I have to. I'm speaking to myself. This is like church right here. And shit, you gotta like really stand your ground in terms of what you're worth and say it, and not in an aggressive, mean, forceful way, but just state it, and they have to live with it.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do.
Exactly.
Clients come to you. I want this. I want that shit. It has to be this type of quality. It has to be that. What can you do for me? And you're like, I can try. No. It got to be like, I got to be the other way around. You want that? Okay. If you want that, then I need this.
You see, we gotta have more of these conversations because, like, I feel like I've been going through those things, and like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, just leaning on my business culture experience, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta, cater to them. Maybe my price is too high. If I lose out on a client, I'm like, okay, maybe I did something wrong. So it's good to like have these conversations and talk to others. And like what you're saying is like great. Like stand your ground, know what you're worth. You definitely got to know your strengths and weaknesses. So
100%. And like this is trust me, I'm not saying this because like I'm just some cocky motherfucker. Like I've been through the worst of it with dealing with clients.
Yeah.
Like, I've done jobs for way less than I was supposed to do jobs. And ended up stressed out.
Exactly.
Ended up doing the job thinking like, why the fuck am I doing this shit for this long, for this amount of money?
Exactly. Yeah.
This editing.
Yeah.
And then they just sitting down waiting.
But do you believe you gotta put like the hard work in first before you can demand those prices?
I used to think that, but there's some people that I know, right, that have no experience and demand the most and get the best outcome. So that to me is like, okay, you got to put that work in, but it's really about it's about presentation and about how you present yourself and handle the deals. It's really negotiation, bro.
Yeah.
Key. You know what I mean? Because they can tell if you're a win-lose person.
It's the art of the finesse.
They can tell. Let's take advantage of that.
And be a win person and tell, oh, this is a lose person. I'm gonna get her.
You're gonna get them.
Yeah. And they know this. But if you show win attitude and demeanor, then they're like, damn, I gotta. And they might. You gotta understand, people use mind tricks. I think I might go someplace else.
Yeah, man, just like, oh, poppy.
Because you're gonna be like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Like, no, maybe you're right.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should go someplace else.
I'm not gonna lie, like
maybe you should try to find a better deal because I can't. That for what you're saying, the quality I'm providing, I cannot do it for that price.
Yeah.
It's the art of the finesse, but I feel like being from New York, everything is a finesse. So it's like if you don't know how to at least to some extent, like try to get lower or higher price for what you want. Like if you don't know the tactics, you need to go back to like hailing a cab or getting a cab and trying to finesse it from there. Cause
It's
like
the land of the hustlers, bro. Everybody you meet that you think might not be a hustler is trying to hustle.
Yes.
So it's like, and sometimes you might get hustled.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you got to be the hustler. You got to hustle up sometimes. Like, so, it's every situation is in its own, and you just got to treat everyone differently. You know what I mean? And I do give people great deals. I don't want to act like I'm just like, okay, you got to pay. I give people amazing deals.
Yeah, same.
I believe in projects. I believe in people. And sometimes, I would say I do take an L.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's not an L because it's something I would do for free. You know what I mean? It's something I would want to be invested in, like regardless of the money. It's just, I want to be part of this because I love it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This career path is just like it's a career. It's not a job.
Yeah.
But like that's one thing. Like I always separate like job from career. Like I had a lot of jobs, but like this is my career. Like the job's gonna pay for the career services. But once I get the career,
that's it.
And anything is just being the best part of or in the best position of that career for yourself.
100%. So it becomes a win, even though in money it might be a loss, but to you, creatively, is a win.
Yeah, until you gain that paper, now you're like, all right, now it's a win.
Now it got to be like, it's creative and I'm getting paper because you done did it 3 times already.
Yeah. So what is your value besides money of operating your business?
Besides money, it's really like creativity. It's like really being invested in things that I feel like can make a difference in the world artistically. Because this is a creative career, creative business, and we make money off of art.
We do.
Photography,
definitely do.
Videography, painting, whatever, podcasting, all this stuff is art. Being able to do what we're doing right now is artwork. So I work when I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, same.
So you feel what I'm saying? It's not about the money. I feel like once you put the work in, the money comes. You got to just do what you love. Like once you do what you love and consistently do it, and not think about paper all the time, then your quality goes up and the money comes to you. But if you think about, I met so many people that do video or photography, and they're like, man, I'm not getting any bookings, I'm not getting paid. And I'm like, why are you not shooting?
Yeah, you should.
So why do you think you're not getting paid?
Because you're not.
You're not working. You're not.
Even if you're not getting paid,
you still need to be like. You still need if this is what you love, right? You still need to be actively doing it. Why are you not setting up your own like shoots or setting up your own videos or working with artists that you believe in, just because you love doing it? And when people see that work that you love doing, they're gonna be blown away.
They're gonna sign on. Yeah,
that's like, what the fuck? You did that? Oh yeah, that's just something I did. You want something similar to it? Cool. That's what we doing,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I actually have a struggle because I have this producer who wants to partner with me, but it's not like a money exchange partnership. It's kind of just like he kind of just wants to use the studio as a place where his so he teaches school kids can come and create this show, and I'm down for it. I'm down for it basically because of the kids. It doesn't do anything for me.
Support the future.
But I'm down for the kids, supporting the kids. But it does take up a lot of my time for the.
Is he getting paid for it?
Well, yeah, he gets paid off for the content.
So I would try to get half a way.
Well, what he's selling me is promotion, sponsorship, which he's sponsoring me to the New York City Department of Education. I don't know how lucrative that's going to be, but
I mean, look at how teachers get paid.
Oh shit! Now I had situations too. I've been similar to that where it's okay, these great brands are working with you, and it's cool. It's great. You know what I mean? But is it going to lead into eventually like you, okay, if you are wholeheartedly invested in this, then cool. Okay. All right. But if it's just something that they saying is a great look for you, is it really a great look for you?
Yeah.
Is it? You're saying that because you want what I'm able to provide.
Exactly.
But after this booking or after we do this, am I going to start getting more of some? You know what I mean? If not, then I don't think it's a great look for me.
Like
Just because you're naming Gucci and saying these names, like you understand that's part of the hustle.
name dropping.
That's part of the hustle. Like when people start saying these corporate, you got this. That's a red flag to me. It's like, okay, you're saying that because you're trying to make me look at you and value something.
That goes into what, like, example. Yes, the other day when I was telling you about the rapper, I didn't like, as far as like as much as I would have been like, I know you such as I don't like doing that because it's just like it doesn't add value to what's going on. It's just more a connection point, but. Now it is more, what are you doing with that connection point? With like, affiliate.
It's definitely a tough place to be when people do that because, it's people I passed up on working with. And later on, I could be like, damn, I should have
did that. Yeah.
But I was thinking about the bag because I wasn't invested in what they were doing. That's the only thing. So at the end of the day, I can't like make myself feel bad about that because I really didn't want to do it, and it was also about them saying it's a good look. So I really got to look back and say, okay, in the future, if somebody gives me an opportunity like that, it has to be something I want to do.
You got to be.
I gotta want to do it. Like if it's for the kids, and I'm like huge in the kids. Like, like help and teach and show them that you could be an entrepreneur, black young man, doing your thing. So that. And spreading that word to them is great. You know what I mean?
Disclaimer: members only, supports the future.
So if you look at it like that,
that's the only way I'm looking at it. Because if I look at it any other way, I'm just gonna be turned off. So,
but yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up. We got like 45 minutes of great entrepreneur podcasting here, man. I hope you guys can like really pull something from what we spoke about. This is real deal. Like, we here, putting in the work every day. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, really, do your research on how to start a business on terms of like, what's some advice that you think you could give like future entrepreneurs who are looking into starting their own business?
My advice is that don't worry about having all the answers. Just start. Just do it. You will learn as you go along. It's just like if something happens, you'll do something about it. Just like if you cut yourself and you start bleeding, you're not just going to let it bleed and bleed out. You're going to do something about it. So don't worry about having all the answers. Like, just go for it,
Yeah.
Big facts. What about you?
I mean, it's just like my phrase, man. Anything less is uncivilized. Like, I feel like you're gonna, if you're trying to place your brain on a certain pedestal, like, surround yourself with it. Even if you're not directly in it in the beginning, like, you keep surrounding yourself in it, keep implementing this, like, this manifestation, this, my brand is of such and such quality. So I'm going to continue to surround myself around that quality. It's quality over quantity any day. Like, and anything less than that is uncivilized. I want no parts of it. Like,
big facts, 100%. Like, so I agree with what you're saying too. Like, I think you should surround yourself with people that are like-minded. I wouldn't say those are mentors, but those are more so like people that believe in what you believe in and able to, give you some confidence when you are feeling like, oh, I don't know if I should do this.
And all those people might not be a friend, but it's a supportive system.
Because you're going to need it.
Get away from the naysayers. Get away from them,
You don't need nobody telling you it's not going to work.
Yeah, for sure. Or those people that are like, because they scared, they kind of give you scary energy.
Yeah.
Get away from those people.
Invest in your craft.
Yeah.
Get away from the haters and just like more or less like have you on the investment in your craft, and that doesn't have to be like craft as far as like equipment. Of course, equipment that you invest in, but like your skill and your talent, because every day you're off, you're still working. Like really, so you always gotta bring that A game.
Facts. Like what you do in the dark, just because nobody sees it,
Will come out.
Eventually they will. So just because nobody sees is great, you know, all the time you put in behind doors, like learning stuff, and you feel like, damn, this shit is, I'm not even nobody yet, in your opinion. But all that time counts in the end when you have to do a project or get hired for something. People will see it. So, you know, like he said, put that time in to really invest in like learning your craft.
Yeah.
So I think we can end it on that note.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So shout out to everybody that's watching. This is the Members Only Podcast. I'm DOXForever.
I'm Sean T.
I'm onii.
Yeah.